Summer is just about here, which means it's time to start barbecuing again. Whether you're going to the beach or having a small cookout in your yard, Charbroil has a grill to fit your needs. If you use our link, you can get a Charbroil one-burner portable grill for just over $100, and it's perfect for wherever you need to cook. It's convenient and portable, and works just as well in the backyard as it does on the go. Just go to multipleworldproductions.com/sponsors and use our link to shop all the great products Charbroil has to offer. Good evening, and welcome to Exploring Hyperspace Lanes. I'm Adam.
And I'm Josie.
I'm tired today.
I'm sorry, tired.
I don't know if you can tell. So do you use HBO Max by any chance?
Yeah, sometimes.
Have you downloaded the new app yet?
No.
Oh, you're gonna have to download a new app because it's no longer HBO Max anymore.
What is that?
Now it's just called Max.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, so it's called Max because now I do kind of understand this thought process. I don't think it's a good idea, but I understand why someone in marketing thought this was a good idea. Um, HBO Max, for those of you who don't know, and I don't know how that could be possible, but if you don't know what HBO Max is, it was the platform that was Warner Brothers streaming service. So it was HBO plus Cartoon Network plus Adult Swim plus Sesame Street plus Looney Tunes plus TCM plus a bunch of stuff. We're all lumped into one thing.
Okay.
So the issue was that they felt that now that Discovery owns Warner Brothers, they wanted to put the Discovery content on there too. It's like Discovery Channel, History Channel, Food Network, HGTV, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And the thought process that they explained was they felt that the HBO brand was too associated with adults, not like pornographic, but it is adult content for adults, and you would lose out on people who would get family content by calling it HBO. So they dropped the HBO and called it Max. Um, so now the streaming service is just called Max.
Oh, okay.
Um, so rather than updating the app, which is what everyone else on the planet would do, they send out a notification, like a new app gets pushed down, and then all of a sudden it's like you go to look at the app and it's Max instead of HBO Max. You have to download a new app now. Um, so you have to
Hmm.
download a new app. So I downloaded the app and I checked it out. Um, Let me take a look at this. Let me bring the app up real quick on my phone. I downloaded it on my phone. I like to browse on my phone while I'm at work, to add stuff to my
Okay.
list, and shit like that. So I was fooling around with the new app. Now, do you remember the hubs?
Sure, yeah.
I can't find those anywhere on here.
Huh.
The hubs are gone, which is annoying.
That is
So
annoying.
so what you have is I'm looking at the phone app. You have home, series, movies, HBO, new and notable. And new and notable is a tab. Okay, I'll use new and notable. The problem is nothing is filtered. So you go into new and notable and it's like stuff mixed with discovery stuff. And I'm like, how many people are going in and like looking for that in that same place? If you're looking for a new movie to watch, I don't think like Windy City Rehab is gonna match up, or 90 Day Fiance is gonna match up with what you're looking for.
Yeah, probably.
Um, I think like, and on top of it, there's like a bunch of like you go to the series page, and the first thing is Naked and Afraid.
Oh.
Then
So, who did they join with again?
Discovery.
Discovery. Okay. I thought, oh no, Disney is National Geographic.
Right.
Um, oh, okay. Well, that
Yeah.
seems kind of like a pain in the butt.
But
I
like
guess I don't even know what's on Discovery.
well, Discovery is the network that it's like a network of channels where it's the Discovery Channel, obviously, Animal Planet,
Mm-hmm.
Food Network, HGTV, um, what was the other, History Channel. I think there's a car one, TLC.
Mm-hmm.
These are all what's it called? These are all involved in that. And the issue is like I personally will have a use case for some of the Discovery stuff because a good amount of Discovery programming is great ambient noise.
Okay.
Like it's good like if I'm writing, I will turn on like now that I have this, I will turn on HGTV. I'll turn on like House Hunters or something like that to keep it on. Because it's like if you ever go to a doctor's office, they always have HGTV on because it's inoffensive,
Mm-hmm.
it's quiet, it's like oh, like you're not gonna get into an argument over HGTV, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna attract all of your attention. So like it's good for ambient noise.
Yeah, because that's like Property Brothers and stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. Um, or like Hometown, which I enjoy Hometown a little bit. But like the issue is like the way it's mixed in on here, it's impossible to find anything unless you know what you're looking for specifically and you're searching it out.
Yeah, that seems silly. Like, I don't know, when you go to HGTV, you're like, oh, that sounds like a house thing. Like, yes, I'd like to look at stuff where they're
Right.
looking at houses, and that's about it. You're not going looking for a specific show. You're not like, oh, I need to watch Property Brothers. You're more like, I would like to watch something where they're redoing a home.
And what would be interesting too is I don't know if you have Peacock. Well, I keep threatening to give you my Peacock, and I keep forgetting. But
Yes,
Peacock and
threatening.
Peacock and Paramount Plus have this cool thing where it's channels of TV shows where it's
Hmm.
just that. So if you go on Peacock, there is a 24/7 channel that runs Law and Order.
Oh,
So if you want to watch Law and
hmm.
Order, if you want to watch SVU, it's just random episodes from the 25 years that show's been on the air, and it'll just air a
Okay.
random episode, random episode, random episode. Which again, that's another good ambient noise show if you need something to watch while you're doing something. Like Law and Order is another one that I'll put on. Um, but something like that would be helpful maybe for HGTV and Food Network
My
because like
favorite ambient noise thing is Futurama.
I've been using Family Guy to go to sleep. I think Futurama is gonna be the one after that.
Yeah. Did you know that there's going to be a new season this year?
Yes, there's a new season coming out.
It was like a whole thing, like getting people to sign the contracts and like getting people paid the right amount and stuff. Like,
And it wasn't
I'm
John
very
DiMaggio
excited.
being like, wasn't John DiMaggio being difficult about it, like they're not paying me
Yes,
enough?
he was holding out to make sure that everybody got paid
Oh, okay,
better.
that was it. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm very much looking forward to that.
yeah, I'll
It
watch it.
looks awesome. Have you seen the commercial, like the trailer?
I have not, no.
Oh, it's worth it. It made me so happy to know that they are pretty much staying true to what it should be, or at least it looks like it.
So that's a show that I want to go back and rewatch from the beginning. Same with like King of the Hill,
Oh,
where
I've
it's
already watched it back from the beginning a few times.
like King of the Hill, I think like we were young when it came out because I want to say that show started in the 90s. So we would have been pretty young when that show started, but
Yeah.
I do want to go back and rewatch that too. I don't know what it's on now.
King of
But
the
yeah.
Hill, I'm was never a huge fan of, but I really liked Futurama. Futurama still holds up if you haven't watched it in a while. It's worth it. It's not like you're not gonna be like, oh man, this was a total waste of my time. This
Oh, I
sucks.
am
You're
gonna
gonna
watch it.
laugh at it
I
again.
am eventually gonna watch it. It's
Um,
just I'm just in the process of I wanted to see Family Guy if the show actually got as bad as I remembered it, and if it rebounded since then. It was more of an
I
experiment there.
doubt it.
It it got bad,
It did get bad, and I stopped watching it.
and like you can tell too. It's like I think it's the most like when you watch it in quick succession, it's probably like the most petty TV show ever. Because what it is, it's a bunch of people who are working on Family Guy who are not nearly as talented as the people they're making fun of
Hmm.
really famous people.
Yeah.
Like the thing that made me that really turned me off is at one point they made fun of Ken Burns, and I'm like, do you know who Ken Burns is before I do this?
No.
Have you ever seen the documentary Baseball or the documentary Civil War or Vietnam War or he did
No.
a History of Jazz one? He is one of the greatest documentary filmmakers that's alive right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he is like widely. If you asked anyone who likes documentaries, who is the best at making documentary series, it'd be Ken Burns. He worked at PBS and he does. these things. He did a 10-part baseball documentary, which is like the definitive history of baseball in the United States. And it is like his style. If you ever see most documentaries that we see now kind of imitate his style a little bit.
Oh, really?
Um, and they're making fun of him, and I'm like, really? Like fucking really? Like this is the guy that you're gonna like go after? Like
Hmm.
so yeah, and it just in quick succession, and then it hits a point where it's like then they start doing every single gag as a cutaway, and it's like it's just not funny.
Yeah. Huh.
Um,
I don't know. I knew that I was pretty much done with it last time I watched it because it was just I don't know, it wasn't funny anymore.
see, for me, what my concern was that there was a period where I got like holier than thou about my tastes. Um,
Oh, there that period is over.
okay. Um,
No, that was a question.
mostly, mostly. But like there was a period where it's like, "Ugh, I won't watch Fast and the Furious. Those are silly. They're popcorn movies. I don't like. I'm a serious person. I don't watch these dumb movies." And then I went and I saw Fast and the Furious 10 or Fast 10 opening night the other night, and I was like, this is ridiculous, but it's amazing at the same time. If you haven't seen Fast X, go see Fast X. It is astounding what Jason Momoa does in this movie.
I would like to watch them. I just would like to watch them with somebody who really liked them so I could try to find the appeal.
Okay, I've only seen 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I haven't seen all of them. There are 11 of them. I've only seen five of them.
Oh,
Um, and it's
that's a
just
lot of fast furiousing.
yeah. And it's like once you get like you have to just like it is one of those things where it's like turn off your brain, just pretend that you're like you're there. But it's like it's just so ridiculous at times, the movies. Like at one point they have to like lay out exposition in this movie.
Hmm.
So this isn't really a spoiler, it's in the trailer. It's like for anyone out there who cares enough and hasn't seen it yet, but um it's in the TV spot, and I only know that because there's a point to that coming up where Alan Ritchson is playing this guy and Brie Larson is like the daughter of Kurt Russell from a previous
Okay.
movie, and he's explaining to Brie Larson about Dom and the team, and he's like, if they can steal it, they've stolen it. If they can do a stunt, they've done it. If they can do it in a car, they can do it. If it defies the laws of God and nature, they did it twice. And it's like the scene is just so over the top ridiculous. And I didn't notice it when I watched the movie in a theater, but the room that they're standing in looks like the set, like that weird CGI set that Jeff Goldblum is in for the apartments.com commercial.
Hmm.
Um, and it just looked so terrible. But I didn't notice because when I say Ritchson is jacked within an inch of his life to the point that it's distracting because he looks like an action figure. Like his biceps are just so massive he can't put his arms down all the way.
Alan Richardson.
Ritchson, Ritchson. He played Reacher in the Reacher show on HBO on Amazon Prime.
Oh, that's Thad.
Bad.
Thad from Blue Mountain State.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's the idea. He bathed in a hot tub of mimosa.
Yeah. This man is
He's
he has
always
the
been ripped like that,
he's got the
though.
biggest biceps I've ever seen in my life. It's distracting how jacked this man
Yes.
is. Like,
Yeah. He's in a TV show right now
yeah,
too.
Reacher.
Reacher. Oh, okay.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah, I it's really hard after Blue Mountain State to picture him not screaming. Um, and it's hard to take him seriously, which I can't watch Blue Mountain State anymore because they just stopped streaming it.
I think it's on the CW app,
What's CWM?
the app for the CW,
Oh, okay.
because I get to uninstall that app on Thursday night
You get
because
to?
yep, because The Flash ends on Thursday night and I do not need that app anymore.
Oh,
That's the only reason I have the CW app is that way I can watch The Flash every week.
oh,
So
huh.
now that that's done. Um,
Is that like a free app? What is that?
oh yeah, it's free. Yeah, it's you don't even need to put your cable information in. It's just you can. I'm fairly certain Blue Mountain State's on there because they're always advertising other bullshit on the app. That's like I like. Did this even air
It
on the
used to
CW
be.
originally?
It used to be on Netflix.
They pulled it off Netflix. I didn't know Netflix did that because Disney pulled that shit this week. Disney's pulling a bunch of stuff off Disney Plus
Yeah,
and
they pulled it
Hulu.
off of Netflix a while ago.
Did you watch The Princess on Hulu?
No.
Um, that was the one with the girl from oh fuck, what was that movie? The Kissing Booth, the girl from the Kissing Booth. Um, anyway, she was the princess who had to escape the tower. It was like a the raid like.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
that's
Yep.
getting pulled.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
So that
Why? I feel like that just came out.
yeah, Blue Mountain State is on the CW app.
Oh, okay.
I just
Maybe
looked it
I'll
up.
download it so that way I can watch Blue Mountain State. 'Cause
Um,
that is a funny show.
but yeah, it's they pulled that. There's a bunch of things they pulled. Let me bring up the list real quick. I put an article about it. If you go to mwpnews.com, um,
Good
you can
plug.
see. Yeah, you can see the list is on there. Um, well, Fast X is the featured story right now, so let me go to the streaming news page. Um, did you buy your tickets for Indiana Jones yet?
No,
It
I
went on sale.
haven't. I didn't even go see the movies that I wanted to see last round
Oh, you don't
of
want to see Indiana Jones?
No, I do. Of course I do, but
All right, so let's see what we got. The Artemis Fowl movie is getting pulled. Big Shot, that show with John Stamos, is getting pulled. The Cheaper by the Dozen remake, Diary of a Future President, um, Little Demon, Dollface, um, the Mighty Ducks reboot, Willow, The Princess,
oh, Willow's
um,
coming off?
yeah,
That's surprising.
the remake, not the new one, not the original. The original's gonna be on there still.
Yeah, that's surprising that the new one is
Yeah,
being pulled off.
and then Stargirl and Hollywood Stargirl, which I didn't hate.
What
I
did they
watched
even
that
get? Did
movie.
they even get enough money from that movie to like
From what?
pay for
Willow?
it?
I
Yeah.
the budget on Willow, like that's part of it is that they're putting so much money into these fucking Disney Plus shows that now first I want to make one thing very clear. Once you commission a show like this and you agree to pay residuals to the actors and the writers and the directors involved,
Mm-hmm.
they should not be allowed to pull them from the streamer. I want to make that very clear. Regardless of the show's quality, regardless if I
Yeah,
liked it or
not for
not.
a very long time.
Yeah, like regardless of what I think of the show, and I did not like Willow at all. Um, regardless of what I thought of it, they paid for it. They agreed to this. The writers agreed to it. The directors agreed. The actors agreed. You should not be allowed to pull it and just be like, "Oh, we want to save money and not pay residuals." It's fucked up that they did that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's I mean, I guess that it's something that's going to be probably added to contracts from now on of like
I
you're
think
not
it's in
allowed
the
to
new one.
pull it.
I think it's in the new CBA that they're working on with the WGA that's still on strike.
Oh, really?
And the Screen Actors Guild is currently holding a strike authorization vote because the Screen Actors Guild can be renegotiating too. They haven't been
Huh.
on strike since the 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were on strike over residuals on VHSs.
Huh.
Um, the WGA went on strike in 2007 over DVD residuals and streaming, and now they're on strike again, the writers. Um, the DGA has never been on strike, and they're also going to be holding a strike authorization vote. Um, but a lot of this comes down to AI. But either way, yeah, Willow. I don't think
You said
Willow.
it comes down to AI?
Yeah, use of AI
Ooh.
in the creative process. Because
Yeah.
like I consider myself a writer. Um,
This is actually something that I brought up the other day. The like what is it going to look like? What is humans like what is art going to look like now that AI is just, making all the art now?
see that's what they're trying to do. The
Is it going to value is it going to increase the value of human art or is it going to decrease?
Well, right now, what they're trying to do, the specifically SAG and the WGA, is they're trying to remove AI from the equation altogether,
Oh,
functionally,
okay.
where there is a term that the sticking point for the studios they're unwilling to bend on is the WGA wants it where any script written, the first person or the first entity to write that script has to be a human. Where it's like they
What do
can't
you,
use AI to create a script and then give it to a writer to touch up. They want it where a writer has to come up with it from the beginning
and
and
then an
go
AI
from there.
can touch it up? That's weird.
No, they I don't think an AI is able to do that now. Um,
Okay.
but it's like
They're
the
just
if
trying to make it so that way it can't be AI.
right, AI can't create it. AI can't be the primary author.
Oh, how are they going to be able to enforce something like that?
Basically, it means the studios can't use AI to create a script and then give it to a writer
But
to.
how can they enforce something like that?
Oh, the WGA would pull out of contracts then. Like if it happened where like I think
What
that
is
the
the
way
WGA for people who don't understand?
oh that's the Writers Guild of America. They are the union that oversees screenwriters and well screenwriters in general, so television, streaming, and
And
theatrical
what is
movies.
the authority behind that and why what
It's a union.
keeps people honest to that?
It's a union the same way that like your local Teamsters union or IATSE, which is the editors and all of that in entertainment. They are anyone who if you are working for a studio, I'm fairly certain it's union shop, meaning that I don't think that if you go to Warner Brothers, if you go to Paramount, if you go to anything like that, I'm fairly certain it's mostly union shop, meaning that everyone there is who's going to be writing for them has to be WGA, has to be a
Okay.
WGA member. Or pre-WGA, which means that they are working in a capacity that could get the membership into the WGA.
Okay.
So if the studios were to do something against the contract, in this case, use AI or like have a studio create a script in that way, the issue becomes how do you then they would pull out of the contract and it would lead to additional strikes.
How would they put like what would be the effect of pulling out of that contract though? I don't think I
It'd be the same thing
understand.
as it'd be the same thing as the current writer strike, where right now no one is writing for TV or streaming or anything like that. So
Oh.
like while the writer strike is ongoing, you can still produce that which has been written. So like
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil is currently shooting, because they finished the scripts for it, but it's currently shooting. Andor is currently shooting because they finished the scripts for it and it's current and they can produce what's already been shot. And then there's a certain amount of leeway that the director has.
So big
Um,
time writers are just not writing.
well, anyone
Is
like
that
if you work
okay?
for if you're in the writers' room on say Stranger Things, which I think Stranger Things was in production, but it's in pause because of the strike because they won't cross the picket line. If you write for like let's say you work for you're in the writers' room on SVU. We'll use SVU as the example. Big network show, big writers' room. If you are in the writers' room for that, you are not writing it right now. So come the fall, when there would be a new season of
So you're
SVU
just
in
showing up and not
no,
doing anything? Like they're just doing a strike.
they're picketing. Yeah, they're picketing outside.
They're picketing outside. Okay.
Yeah. So like
Okay. To
come the
try to get what
fall,
they want,
right.
which would
So
be that AIs can't make things.
well, there's a lot more to it than just the AI. Like there's pay increases and they want to increase the size of writers' rooms and they want to make sure that writers have time on set because that's how you move up. Is that if you're a staff writer and one of your episodes is being produced under the old system, you would go to set to be there while your episode's being produced. But with this
Okay.
new weird mini room situation that they were pulling to avoid paying people, that wasn't happening because you weren't a full writer, which means that you then can't get the next position up because you don't have the onset experience.
Oh,
So it's holding
okay.
people back and keeping them from making more money.
Oh, okay.
So
That
there's
can
more to
make
the strike
sense.
than yeah, there's more to the strike than just that. But they want the they want the motion picture the association of the studios, which is like Lionsgate, Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, Paramount, Netflix, Apple, um I feel like I'm missing some, but anything that produces movies, they all collectively work together. And they want them to agree on the AI front. You will not use AI to create the first draft of a script and then try to produce that.
Okay.
Because that would cut out the writer entirely, which would be against the WGA's existence. Um,
Hmm.
so that's one of the things that they're trying to do. But like, there's this new thing that launched like last week called Pseudo Writer, and I checked it out, and I looked at it and I'm like, this is kind of weird.
Okay.
It's an AI that it's like ChatGPT, um, where you put in a prompt. This one very specifically writes novels based on a prompt.
Huh.
So you put in a prompt, it will give you a hundred, like 100,000 words. It'll give you a
Are
full
they good?
novel. I didn't try it, 'cause I didn't want to give it any. Because the thing with AI is the more you use it, the better it gets.
Oh, okay.
The more information you feed it, the better it gets. So I wasn't going to put anything in there to do it. And the really nefarious thing that they were doing with pseudo write was they were giving people who wrote their books and were trying to get them published. If you put your novel into this thing, if you upload your novel to it, it will spit out a synopsis and a log line for you to send the publishers.
Okay.
And the reason why that's a problem is AI works by reading. So what AI does is it reads hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of articles, and then it spits out an answer based on what it is. So what this is doing is they want people to put in their novels so the AI
So
can
it can
analyze it
mimic.
and mimic it later.
Oh, well, um, I do not partake in the AI experience as many do, because I think it's fucking creepy.
It is a little weird.
And I mean, it's very cool for them to call it AI, but I don't think that a lot of the things that they're showing are true AI. I think it's really just they have a program here that's able to mimic the
Right, that's what
human
it is.
experience,
Right.
not experience, but the human word choice. That's all.
It's not doing any thinking on its own. It's basically just a
No,
chatbot.
no, it's mimicking.
Right.
That's it. It's pretending. It's not an actual artificial intelligence, so it's getting a lot more credit than it deserves.
And like the thing is, I hear people like, "Oh, we're going to Skynet," and I'm like, "No, I don't think we're going to Skynet. I think we're going to." And I there's a
Also, don't encourage Skynet.
No, I'm not saying we should aim for Skynet. I don't think that's a goal we should be aiming for. But I was listening to a podcast and they said, "Oh, this is good because it'll bring back the middle class." And I was like, "How?" Because I saw that episode title and I was like, "Wait, let me hear what their thought process is." And their thought process was it'll bring back the middle class because it'll democratize the highest paying jobs. Because the easiest jobs to get rid of with AI is doctor and lawyer and judge, which are some of the highest paying jobs in the country. Because if you get like, you don't need you an AI can
It's
do the
some of
job of
the
a lawyer.
highest paying jobs that actually deserve the amount of money that they receive,
Exactly.
though.
And it's like when you look at like a doctor, like if you were to take a like I was standing in CVS getting a prescription for my grandmother, and I'm standing in this fucking line, and I'm gonna admit it, I was thinking, can't we just get a fucking robot to do this? Because it'd be a lot faster if a fucking robot did this. Where it's
Yeah.
like you scan the prescription, it's a dispenser, boom, there's your pill, go about your day. Like,
So, speaking of robots, have you been to any of the robot run, like anything,
I
or
mean, do
like
you mean
seen
like using
anything?
self-checkout or
No, like a real robot thing.
no, I haven't.
Okay, so there's two things that I was looking at recently that look very cool. Both of them do happen to be in Vegas.
Yeah, that
There
tracks.
was, yeah, one of them was
You can
robot
fuck the robot.
strippers. What?
It's Vegas, and like you can fuck the robot.
No, so it's robot strippers. And it's funny because they actually like they're not like, ooh, sexy robot. It's got like an actual camera as a head,
That's
like a
weird.
CD camera.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
creepy.
you're just
It's
seeing
just
someone working from home.
pretty much like I think it's more it's like an art kind of thing more than it is like ooh sexy robot. I
Yeah.
think it's more like look at the future, what it could be. Isn't that hot?
Oh
But
yeah, that
it's
sounds
gross.
amazing.
Yeah. It was really interesting. Like I wanted to go check it out, like because I was like, oh heck yeah, I want to see that. That's weird.
It's
Um,
cool in like a Coney Island freak show kind of way, where it's like I'll go and look
right.
for morbid curiosity.
Yes, that's all it really was. But then what else? There's also a bar um that does the bartender is a robot,
That
also in
I've heard of.
Vegas. And that looks really very cool. I actually have seen it. It is very neat. It's expensive, so I didn't partake because ain't nobody got money for that one. There's drinks
Yeah.
for free there. Um, but it looked really cool, and I got to watch other people do it.
Yeah, I saw there's a restaurant that makes burgers with robots.
Ooh, that's cool.
Um, but still, I think I make better burgers than the robot does, I think. I'd rather get to do it myself. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't. I'm not particularly good at burgers, so
It's not that hard to make a burger. How are you not good at making burgers?
you know what? I'm also not very good at making
Cook
pancakes,
Pancakes are a little more difficult than a burger,
but I
though.
can make a crepe and I can make like plenty of
That's
other
weird
things.
because a crepe is hard.
Yeah, I can make other things. I just don't, I think I just don't, I just screw it up every time.
Uh,
Every
so
time.
before we get to the Star Wars portion of the episode, have you been keeping track of what's happening at
At what?
Cannes, the film festival?
No.
So Cannes is going on right now. That is the Cannes International Film Festival set in France, where a bunch of movies are premiering. So of note, the Asteroid City, which is Wes Anderson's new movie, premiered. Well received. Um, the Did you ever watch Euphoria?
I tried to.
You didn't like it?
It wasn't my thing.
I didn't make an attempt. The guy who made Euphoria, though, made a show that's like, I guess a spin-off or like tangentially related. And they premiered it, and it's getting panned. Like it's some of the worst response I've ever seen to
Really?
a TV show. It's been described as borderline pornographic.
Well, so was Euphoria.
Oh no, this is worse. Like from what I read from like Variety and stuff, this is like a lot worse. Like Euphoria, from everything I've never watched Euphoria, but everything I've heard about it, it doesn't sound quite as bad as this. Like this is
Okay.
about like Lily Rose Depp is in it. It's called The Idol. It's gonna be on HBO. I'm not gonna watch it, but
Okay. Why not?
she, I never watched Euphoria, and this sounds like less my speed than Euphoria. Um,
Okay. You
but
don't like
like
a pornographic film?
not really. Um, and especially not a pornographic film attempting to masquerade as a TV show. Like, but
I
like
mean that but like what was that vampire one that was a
True
pornographic?
Blood? No, True Blood
Yeah.
was. I think True Blood's different from this because, like, from what I read, like at one point, there's a plot point where Lily Rose Depp gets a facial from The Weekend, um, and there's a picture of it that circulates, and she becomes known as the human cumsock.
Oh, who's Lily
There,
Rose?
Johnny Depp's daughter. Um,
I'm
like,
Googling a lot of people today.
yeah, there's a scene. You're gonna get a lot of results about this. Apparently, there's a show where like she masturbates with an ice cube. Um, and it's like this seems a little much for HB even for HBO. Especially
Ice
when
Cube?
yeah,
That doesn't sound realistic.
I don't think it's a matter of realistic. I'm sure people do that. Um,
You think so?
I wouldn't be surprised considering the wide variety of kinks that exist. That's relatively tame.
I guess that is relatively tame.
Like in the grand scheme of things, considering like hot wax is definitely a thing. Like I would assume it
But
goes in the
that
opposite
sounds
direction too.
like that would be warm. But like cold is not hot.
Especially like inside, I feel like that'd be weird. You're also not like pouring hot wet. Like I'm not saying I'm not defending it. I'm just saying it's not the weirdest possible thing that they could have done. It's weird for a TV show. Um,
Yeah.
that's kind
But
of the
it's not like
line.
there hasn't been masturbation on a TV show before. Is it weirder because it's female, do you think?
No, I don't think it's that. Well, here's the thing. They don't say how explicit it is. Like, so like is it implied or is it like explicit like you're seeing everything?
I'm probably not seeing everything. You don't usually see a vagina on TV.
It's also not CBS, it's HBO. So it's like it's not gonna be smack
HBO
between
could do whatever the heck they want.
right. I mean, but like thinking back to other HBO shows, you get graphic nudity, but they don't go that far. So I would assume they're not.
Probably not.
Granted, didn't someone give birth on House of the Dragon?
They did, but I don't think you saw it.
That's true.
It
But
was
look,
just
they could
the
be.
implication of,
Yeah,
look,
I think that that's what's going to
a
be because
baby's coming out.
but like at the same time, it's like I don't. I think if it's just the implication, I don't think it's headline worthy
Hmm.
because
I
like
mean, it
that's
could be because people are kind of prude.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's like I feel like if we're
That would be
talking what's
so outrageous. I mean, it even got a response out of me, which was, that doesn't sound comfortable
I don't
or
know, but like
nice.
see, but like for me, it's like here's the thing, like if you have the two things side by side, where it's like you have this girl who's got a load on her face, and that's a major plot point, and you see it, and that's like visible on the show. I feel like that's the lead, and then you don't have to mention anything else because at that point you've already, you
Yeah,
know,
you've already done a little, you've done a cum shot, like,
exactly.
or like the cream pie
Once you
thing.
get to that, well, it's not a cream pie 'cause it's on the face. Like
Oh, well, I
one
don't
one
fucking know.
once you get to that point where you have the that is the big thing in the show. I feel like
Yes, that's fairly pornographic.
anything else that you do beyond that point, it if it's implied is nothing.
Hmm.
If it's not, full on like something like that's how I that like it feels not worth mentioning at that point if it's not
Hmm.
if it's just implied. So it's got to be more explicit than that. I'm still not going to watch it because it feels fairly exploitative. Um, Especially when you take into consideration what went on with Euphoria, where it's like I don't know, and I feel like too. I don't like bashing critics, but I feel like critics definitely have something to do with this because the amount of praise that Euphoria and the shitty movie Voyeurs got because Sydney Sweeney was naked in it, I think is a direct contributing factor to this because I know a lot of people like Euphoria. I don't know if it's as good as people indicate it is, and I certainly
I
don't
couldn't
think,
really get into it, so I don't think so.
and I certainly don't think that that other movie, Voyeurs, was that good.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
yeah, I feel like this is a weird thing. The other big premiere though was Indiana Jones.
You know what else just came out?
What?
Um, like last week is the last season, or I think it's the last season of The Great.
Oh, okay, yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, it's
Not good.
awesome.
Oh,
No, I love that movie. I not movie. I love that show. It's very good. Um
the girl in that's really
this
good. She was in The Girl from Plainville.
Yes, I like
That was
her.
a fucked up
And then I
show.
really love the guy who plays Peter the Great. Like he's the guy who's in Renfeld. I like him
Oh,
too.
right, Nicholas Holt.
Yes, he's been in a few things and I always like him. So it's excellent and it's obviously like just a like a comedy dramatized and like there's some pieces of history but not really.
It's like a
And
loose
then
adaptation of Catherine the Great story.
yes. Um, but it's excellent. And the last season that just came out the fucking mind blower. So highly
I've never watched
recommend.
that. I might get into that show because it's there's so much that I haven't watched and so
I
much
binged it. It
like
made me so happy.
did you watch Love and Death by any chance?
No.
It's a new show on well what is now Max, but it's Elizabeth Olsen playing a woman who killed her husband.
Oh, okay.
Um
Hmm.
I might watch that. But yeah, because she's really good. I saw her in Wind River, which it's written by the guy who wrote Sicario and wrote he had one oh Hell or High Water. It's all the same guy wrote all of those, and then he went on to do
Hmm.
Yellowstone, and it's a detective like story on an Indian reservation or Native American reservation in the Midwest. Um,
Hmm.
and it's actually really good. She plays an FBI agent. It's a really good movie.
Is it? Hmm.
Yeah. Um, but you can't share Netflix passwords anymore without paying $8 extra a month.
You can't share them?
Yeah, your Netflix password can't be shared anymore. Otherwise, they'll start charging you an extra $8 a month.
How are they gonna know?
If it's not in the same household.
When how what?
Yeah, that's a new thing today.
When does that happen?
Starting within the next week, they started sending out emails today. Allegedly, I didn't see it. I don't share my Netflix, but
Oh.
I haven't gotten an email. So
Well, hopefully my parents don't notice.
yeah, they'll just take the extra $8.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Indiana Jones premiered. Response is not great. Um, based on early responses. Um, I didn't read any reviews because I didn't want to have anything spoiled. Um, but apparently it's tracking lower than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh. Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
That's not very good at
no,
all.
it's not. I'll still see it. I'm still going to see it when it comes out, but I'm not like super gung ho. Like that and The Flash, I'm not super on about. Um,
I have a
the
question.
movie.
Do
Yes.
you agree that Harrison Ford is an attractive man?
Yeah, I'd say
Maybe,
so.
or was at least, like
I
when
would
he
say
was
that
younger?
for a man who's 80, I would say he's still pretty attractive.
Okay, was he attractive when he was younger? I guess is more of my question.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely would
Okay.
have been. Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Why? Was this an argument you had with someone who said he wasn't?
yes. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, when he's Han Solo, like, that's a hot dude.
Yeah. And
Like,
it's like Air Force One, he's good looking. Like, okay, this is
mhm,
getting pretty gay, but like he is a pretty
he's an
attractive man.
attractive man.
Yeah.
Um,
But like
and
he even now
I
he's
was so
attractive.
surprised that I had to defend him for that. But because I was we it had come up because I would love to do a gender bender costume of Hans and be Han Solo, but Lady Han Solo.
Hanita Solo.
No,
But
Han
yeah,
Solo.
there you go. He but he is attractive in the same way that like Martha Stewart still looks good for being about the same age.
Is Martha Stewart attractive though?
I don't know.
I think
I
she's
I
okay looking, but I
I
wouldn't go,
probably wouldn't fuck her
damn, that's a
if
hot mama.
well she's also 80. She didn't look bad on the
I don't
cover of
think that
Sports
there was
Illustrated.
any, I know, but I don't think that there's any time where I'd be like, man, she is hot.
But here's the thing, is there a woman her age that you would say that about?
Give me some examples. I guess I don't really know. I don't know enough
Helen
like
Mirren. No, Helen Mirren's
Helen
not.
Mirren.
I think Helen
Let's
Mirren's
see.
older. Um,
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren, I was kidding. She's older, I think.
Oh, she's attractive.
But
I'd
like,
say she's still pretty hot.
did you see Martha Stewart on the cover of Sports Illustrated though?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
That
she
I
doesn't look
saw.
bad.
Let's see. How old is Martha Stewart?
She's 81, I think.
Okay, so let's see. 81-year-old actresses.
Um, yeah, I don't think that and people got up in arms about that too. And I was like, why? Like, She's not bad. Like it's not like she's like atrocious or anything. Like
Meryl Streep,
oh yeah, she is still pretty good looking. She's 80?
she's 73.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's pretty close.
I was gonna say she is like, but like I think like who like I can't really think of any other really older actresses. And
Jane
this
Fonda.
she didn't look bad in um what was that
Oh,
other movie?
yep. Jane Fonda's still hot.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda's very hot.
She what was it?
She's
She
a
was in 80
straight
for
up
Brady.
gilf.
Who was the one in 80 for Brady that I was like, oh, that is not a good look.
Her. Jane Fonda's an 80 for Brady.
No. But there are four women in
Let's
80 for
see.
Brady. It's not Rita
There are
Moreno. I know it's not Rita Moreno
8
because Rita Moreno
Brady.
looks grandmotherly. Um, Lily
Lily
Tomlin.
Tomlin, she's a hot granny.
Who?
Is it Sally Field?
No, Sally. No, it must have been Lily Tomlin then. I'm like,
So
oh, she
you've
looked
got
like she's.
Trish, Moira, Betty, and Lou.
I didn't
Do
see
you
the movie.
remember?
I just know the four
Oh,
actresses. I know Rita Moreno is in it. I know Sally Field is in it. It's got to be
I
um
think one of them is just done up a little bit more homely,
that's
but they don't actually look as homely.
I think Lily Tomlin's the one who looks like she got a lot of work done.
Um, I think they both have had a lot of work done.
Oh no, I'm not
Jane
saying
Fonda, Jane Fonda's had a lot of work done, and then Lily Tomlin's had some. I think
because
I
Sally
think
Field
those are
still
the
looks good.
two.
Sally Field looked good in Amazing Spider-Man. She still looks good.
Yeah. Sally
Um,
Field looked a little bit homely in it, but
I don't think that's a problem.
no, she just looked a little bit more like grandma.
Yeah. Um, but in Star Wars news this week,
Oh.
Galactic Starcruiser is closing.
Aw.
Um, probably something to do with the price.
Yeah. I mean, when only the 1% can afford it, is
Yeah,
that
it's
enough
like
to keep it in?
five grand a night or 5 grand for the entire stay, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not something that I would have put as the marquee, selling point for the Disney parks.
No. It'd be very cool, but
I did hear a rumor that what they would do is um how do I hold on, let me pull my brightness down a little bit so I get a little more time. Um I did hear that they could turn it into like an attraction where it's like it's not a hotel, it's just like they put something in there, like it's a restaurant or something.
that would be
Um
smart to reuse the
yeah,
space like that.
yeah. Um
So I'm sure
but
they will.
I think that it was such a dumb decision to build it and to price it the way they did.
Yeah.
I think that was fundamentally where this thing failed, and it's like, why? Who's gonna pay for this? Like, especially
Yeah.
now that we're in this situation, and I think that that's also part of it is they broke ground pre-COVID, and then COVID happened, and then after
I
COVID is when
think
it
that was a
opened.
big
Um,
reason that it failed.
and now you got the situation where it's like we're in a recession. I mean, quote unquote, are we in a recession? Are we not in a recession? Who knows?
I
People
think
can't
we
afford
are.
anything, but you know,
Isn't that the
regardless.
definition of, I mean, aren't you, isn't it hard to kind of claim recession while you're in the recession?
No, I think
Isn't it
it's
more like you look back on it?
I think the way a recession works is that you need to have negative GDP growth for 2 consecutive quarters. And I'm gonna
Oh,
be honest, I'm not smart enough to be able to figure that out. So,
neither am
um,
I.
yeah, so we
But
will just.
our wallets are certainly feeling whatever's going on.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely feeling it. Like I've had $2 in my bank account until I get paid again for like a week.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the
You
new.
you said that you signed up for a gym. That's
I
exciting.
did sign up for a gym.
We have to do some personal talk for a minute.
That's true.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Um,
What was your story that you had that you brought this up for? Because I feel like there was a reason you wanted to go into the personal conversation part of the show.
I just wanted to ask you how your gym was going.
Oh, I haven't actually gone yet because I've been sick.
And what gym did you go to? Decide to get a
Planet
uh
Fitness.
Planet Fitness?
Yeah,
I like Planet Fitness. They're okay.
it was $1 down, $10 a month.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
They've
Um,
got the annual fees though now, where they
yes,
didn't used to.
yes. Because the thing is, I do physical therapy for my arm, um, which has been helping.
Has it?
Yeah, the physical therapy's been helping. Not as much as the drug they put me on, but the physical therapy
Oh,
certainly helping.
the drugs are helping better.
Yeah, the drug does a little more, but the physical therapy also does help. Um,
What kind of physical therapy are you doing? Like, are you doing the needling and stuff, or?
no, no, no. It's like I go and there's like weights and like there's like a
Oh,
bicycle machine that you go like this with, and it's like,
mm-hmm.
you do that.
Okay.
But
Is it
yeah, it's
working?
yeah, it's working. It's just the place I go to, it's at university by me, and
Hmm.
because of that, I do what's it called? I have to go every 2 weeks instead of every week like I'm supposed to because they're so booked up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Huh.
um,
Huh. Cool.
but yeah. So what was the other thing?
Bed Bath and Beyond is going out of business.
Yeah, I saw that, and the thing is too is like for a second I was disappointed because I was like, oh, I like Bed Bath and Beyond, and then I thought about it, I'm
Uh,
like I've never actually bought anything in Bed Bath and
yeah,
Beyond. I
because you
just
can't
go in and look
afford
around.
it. So
Exactly, it's
now,
so fucking
now
expensive.
that it's going out and everything's on sale, now you can afford some shit.
Oh yeah, it
I
was
went the
like
other day and I got like new drapes, like yeah, curtains, and then and some curtain rods,
oh maybe
which
I'll get
was
my dad
very
my
nice.
maybe I'll get my dad a Father's Day gift there because they had this cool like golf organizer thing
Oh,
for the
there you
garage.
go. There you go.
It was like
Or you
150
could get him like a
bucks.
foot bath or something, and
He
or
won't use that.
something that says like chill out, like lots of calming things. Maybe
I
get him
got him a
some crystals or something. I'm sure he'd enjoy that.
I got him like a neck massager for Christmas, and I think he's used it once.
Oh,
And that's it.
wow.
Um, but yeah, so we're gonna have to table the Star Wars talk for next week because we've been going for like an hour and my laptop's dying.
Oh no.
Yeah. Because we were so on topic with everything the fuck else. Um,
You gotta get like a car charger for your laptop or something to
we're
plug it in,
see what I
or
need.
like an extra battery, because your
That's what I'm
laptop
thinking.
doesn't last very long.
No, it doesn't. And it was charging all day at work. I gotta figure out what's draining the battery so much because I
Hmm.
had it plugged in at work and then I had it, well, also keep in mind, I had it open on Zoom, but either way, it's like 2 hours. That shouldn't
Well, two
drain the
hours is
battery that
kind of a
much.
long time.
On battery and on top of that, we have a bunch of peripherals. So the camera isn't built in, so that's an extra peripheral. I use an
Yeah.
external mic, that's an extra peripheral. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna table the Jedi Survivor discussion until next week. Let me
Okay.
look at the calendar and see what we else we have coming up. Um, oh,
In let's do my question.
yes, well I
Um,
pulled the calendar up.
describe your Jedi robe like colors. Jedi.
I've always been
Unless you
partial.
truly identify Sith, and then go ahead with what your Sith robe color would be,
I
but
don't know.
that's
I've
pretty
always really
obvious.
loved the Luke look in episode 6, that black. Like I don't know if you can tell, but black's my color. Like I wear black a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Like I
Oh, you like Luke's black
yeah,
look?
Luke's black or like Anakin's black look in Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Like black is slimming, and as a larger gentleman, I like to have as much help from the outfit as possible. So yeah, black definitely gets the
Okay.
job done there. Um, what about you?
Um, I'd probably go classic.
Oh, like Obi-Wan
Um,
in episode 4?
yeah. Yeah, I'd probably go classic with the tan robes.
Yeah.
I'd love to say that I'd probably do something like badass or like against the grain, but if I'm full on Jedi, I'd probably, just blend in with the crowd and try not to stand out.
Oh, you wouldn't do like Alea Sakura and do like the belly shirt with the crop
No,
top?
probably not. Probably not. I'd do
Um,
like a normal, simple tunic and I'd try to blend in and not be noticed.
or like Shakti where she's got that giant flowing dress.
Right. Nope.
Um, but yeah, so because we're moving everything back a week, we're gonna be doing Jedi Survivor next week. We're gonna do Attack of the Clones the week after, Thrawn Treason the week after that, and then The Mandalorian season 2 the week after that. Those of you looking for what movies we're going to be covering, we got some cool stuff coming up. Tomorrow we have The Little Mermaid. Then it gets cool. Then we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The week
Oh, I
after that,
finally got to see Cocaine Bear.
did you like it?
I did like it. It was very funny.
I've been meaning to watch it, but there's so much other stuff I gotta watch.
It's
Um,
very funny.
yeah, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. We have Transformers, and I think there's a chance that I get into the premiere for Elemental. So I might be seeing Elemental at the New York premiere, but I'm not 100% on that yet. Um,
Okay.
but that might be in June. But we'll wrap up there for today. And we'll be back next week with Jedi Survivor with a fully charged laptop and not talking about other stuff for an hour before we get into the topic at hand.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, we'll be back with that next week. Until then, have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this show, be sure to check out our other shows. We have Beware of Spoilers, where we talk about new release movies. We have 30-minute reviews, where we talk about older stuff and current events in the entertainment industry. And we have Exploring Hyperspace Lanes, where every week Josie and I get together to talk about random stuff in our lives, and also we rank and review everything Star Wars, old stuff, new stuff, all of it. And you can find all of these shows on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, or wherever you find your podcasts. Or, to get it simply, just go to bewareofspoilers.com, or exploringhyperspacelanes.com, or 30minutereviews.com, and it'll redirect you right to the Spotify page. Thank you, and thank you for enjoying our content.